Hi everybody. I'm bored, so you have to listen to me talk about seabirds right now. So seabirds, like other birds, but they saw everything going on land, and they said, "Nah, we'll just live on the ocean." And honestly, I feel that they come in a bunch of groups. Well, most of them are going to come in groups like Procella reformis, which is going to be your albatrosses and your shearwaters and your petrels and those kind of birds. There's Charadriformis, which is like your gulls and your terns, plovers, those kind of birds. Then there is Pelicaniformis, which pelicans, and Spheniciformis, and that's like your penguins, who are built different. They don't fly, they swim really well though. So what are the things that makes a seabird a seabird? They have salt glands, most of the times above their eyes, that will remove excess salt. Some of them can drink, well, a lot of them will drink seawater and cry the salt out. Essentially, they have really dense feathers, waterproof a lot of the times with oils and stuff like that to help repel the water from like soaking all the way in, and it traps air for better insulation so they don't get too cold. So let's see, albatross. I don't know if I have a favorite seabird, but albatross are pretty cool. They have massive wingspans, like 10 feet, some of them maybe even a little more. Birds with huge wingspans are like the albatrosses, some pelicans, just insane. I had an albatross fly across the front of my boat once, like really close to the window, and I nearly shit myself. It was insane. It was 10 feet, just went right in front of me. I digress. Yeah, so the albatross, they soar. They use the wind gradients, and they barely flap their wings. They'll go thousands of miles without and like barely flap their wings, which is really cool. It's really cool. But one of the things that's happening with climate change is that it's altering wind patterns, and so that dynamic soaring that they do, it's sometimes what's happening is that they'll fly farther distances in a shorter period of time, which sounds cool, but there's a potential for it to increase problems with chick rearing, because sometimes they'll go too far, arrive too late, arrive too early. It just kind of messes up their timing. So yeah, that's happening. A lot of seabirds will feed by diving down into the water. The gannets will go from like 100 feet and they reach like 60 miles an hour, and they have these air sacs in their face and in parts of their skull that kind of like works like a crash helmet, because they're slamming their faces into the water at 60 miles an hour. But that means that they can dive down a lot deeper to get fish. So a fish that is like really far from the surface will feel like it's all cool, and here comes a gannet and grabs it at 60 miles an hour. And the gannets, their eyes are like really far forward, so they kind of almost like work like binoculars, and they're really good at judging distances, which is that's a crazy adaptation. So speaking of crazy adaptations, penguins have solid bones, and they can dive up to like 400 or 500 meters with some of the species, which is wild, to get their food. So I mean, I don't know, man. These birds are so evolved. Like, they really did evolution right. Puffins are also really good swimmers. They rely a lot on like the small schooling fish, and they can carry like multiple fish across their mouth. They're doing one trip. They're not doing all the back and forth. Seabirds are really good for controlling fish populations, spreading nutrients, you know what I mean. And they're also really good for letting scientists know when something's up. They can you can monitor their breeding success. You can monitor the timing of their migration. You can monitor chick survival. When something's going on with seabirds, scientists sometimes are like, oh, something's up with seabirds, let's go figure out what's going on. Pelicans actually like nearly went extinct because of a pesticide called DDT. They recovered and they're doing all right now, but yeah, there a lot of animals are, as you know, really sensitive to environmental pollution. So again, we just have to try to be careful with that type of stuff. And like a lot of other animals, environmental disruption is a problem. Like with the penguins and the icy ice, like when the ice is breaking up too much, their chicks, too many of their chicks can freeze or drown, or before they're able to take care of themselves, so, and as a result, you have less of them getting to survive into adulthood. So yeah, but yeah, I don't want to go on too much longer. Seabirds, I think they're pretty cool. All right.